Hello, welcome. We're going to be doing some game dev in just a moment. I'm a little bit light on spoons today. I think this week is going to be not very productive in terms of making this game. This week is just draining. It's very draining. Hoping that things improve for the weekend, but if not, maybe they'll improve for next week. Don't have a lot of plans to get a lot done today. We have a bunch of items that we need to flesh out. Let me bring out the list. We've got to-dos. We need art. We need to be able to put things in the tile map layer, and then we need to add all these items. My plan, based on how I'm feeling today, is we're just going to do one thing. We're just going to make the bag. We're going to get that functional. The bag is the hardest one, by far, because the bag is an inventory and needs to be able to hold more items. I don't think it's not going to be a huge problem, but we need to build out a lot of new functionality, because right now only the player has an inventory component, and we don't have the functionality to move items between inventory components. So if we give the bag an inventory component, doing that is not trivial, because we need to give it an inventory component and then propagate that across the network. But then how do we get items into it is a question. We need to create a UI element that is transient. You only have this UI element if you have the bag. If you drop the bag, we don't have dropping. But if you drop the bag, you lose the UI element. And then if you pick the bag back up, you get it back. And we have to make sure that UI element is accurate. And we have to synchronize this over the network. All of the other items, blank rune, it's nothing. The bottle doesn't do anything. Bread, you eat it, but whatever. That's just add a variable and then have a thinking process go, I have eaten food, have a buff. The buff only lasts X. This, and this are passive, and this is already implemented. And then this one is second most complicated. Still, bag, we're just going to do that. Before we do the bag, though, I am going to add a new picture here. Because I've already added the equivalent tile map. We're just going to replace all these icons with all of these. Let me just hide everything else. Where are my items? Oh, they're in the region, so I can't hide them. I think these are all the items. And if they're not, well, they're gone now. We go ahead and delete this. There it is. We delete that. We have transferred over. Let's make sure that everything still works. What? Hold on. Why is it no longer deleting? Let's go look at the spawner code that's in here. Spawn starting items. Get items in the item map. Item spawner.spawn. Let's do a thing. Print item. Okay, before we proceed, let's simplify this. I don't need this many potions. I only have this many potions because I have this many item slots. Let's get rid of most of them. Let's just put 2 down. I know how to do it. Oh, because I still have erase toggled. Yeah, I'm smart. Let's put 4 down. Okay. There they are. Now, if we look over here, we see a lot more than 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Hold on. Please hold. We're gonna go ahead and take this. This is already more complicated than I thought it would be. Okay. 1, 2. Just 2. Just 2. Okay. Now if we right click on it. That's not right. Why was this it was working before, and now it's not. All right, we got to go deeper. Oh, damn. I don't have the spoons for this. It's possible that this has actually been broken since last stream, and I just didn't notice. That's possible. Let's look at the data for the health potion. We should be calling item.queueFree. Let's print we're not calling that function. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so the problem is when I right click on the thing, we're not getting to the use function. Are we in the, so are we getting here? We're not getting to this function anymore. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this isn't the use function. This is the pickup function. So, hold on. Different thing. You know, I'm operating on low spoons. I'm allowed to make stupid mistakes. When we right click on an object, how are we? What is this get? Get on. That's in the input handler. Okay. We're calling the get item command. Get item command says if we're on the client, we should RPC handle move the item into the target.name. That could be correct, but okay, that's just the target ID. Okay, so move this into the target, get the target's inventory component and put it in there. Got it. Okay, yeah. So we're doing, this is the correct thing. I just need to catch up. Where's that command? This is the RPC handler. This is still the RPC handler. Thank you. Print. Are we doing this? I'm assuming yes. Yes, we are doing this. Okay, so the problem is not on the client failing to send the request. The problem is on this. Let's see if the problem is on the server. Let's go into here. Print. Oh, we got an item. Debugging. Oh, we got an item. All right. Target equals input handler dot main dot get node. I shouldn't have done it like this. I did this in Wolfenstein 3D2 where I put the player inside of the input handler, the player object inside the input handler. So if I want to get the player object, I can just call the input handler dot player. Boom. Easier than trying to do get parent dot get parent dot get parent dot whatever. I shouldn't be putting things in the input, but I need these to be in the input handler anyway. So it's like really tempting. It's so tempting to do that. No, in the future, I should just make like a state handler, and then just put the main in there and put the player in there, and then just have the input, have everything go there. No, I shouldn't do that. Anyway. So we are calling this function. We're calling a get. We're getting this move item. We got the target, and then we get the player inventory. Does this exist? It does. There is an inventory. Oh. There is an inventory component, which obviously, because we're adding objects to it, player.env equal add item to inventory. Okay. Okay, so we're changing the collectible component. Which I'm pretty sure is working. So we'll have to go in the collectible component and see what we're missing. All right. Why is the... All right, hold on. There's only 2 items, so it's actually really easy for me to just do this. There they are. There are my 2 items. They each have a collectible component. That collectible component says null. Let's go back to the game. This is not the game. Let's get that out of here. Go back. Oh, there it is. Let's go back to the game. Let's go ahead and pick up, I don't know. Okay, we didn't set the collector, but we did set the collector name. Oh, we did set the collector. Okay. So this worked. Oh, and these are gone now. Oh, I know what the problem is. Oh, no, this is actually working fine. Everything is fine. The problem is this is not visible. That's the problem. This needs to be hidden as well. That's the problem. The problem is the tile map layer is visible and it looks exactly like items. I'm just... Low spoons. Did I mention that? Low spoons. Everything was working the whole time. JK. I do want to test adding this bag. We're going to put a bag here. The only thing I want to test is to make sure that looks different. And when I right click on it, I don't heal. That's the only thing. But before we actually go down that path, I need to implement the bag. And when I say implement, I mean the data object is here. We just need to have this sprite be a thing. What do I have here? Sprite equals blah, 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 blah. What if bag? Done. Right. Right. I forgot a step. I forgot a step. So right now, the item spawning function is there a thing? Put a potion there. That won't fly. We need something more long term. I need to make a new handler. And when I say handler, it might actually be a helper. Do I have helpers? I think I had a helper in Wolfenstein, the Wolfenstein clone. In Agent Smooth, that's the actual name of the game. I should call it that. I would like to have a helper. Let's create a new folder. We're going to put helpers in here. Item spawn helper. This is going to have a static function. It does not extend node. In fact, it extends nothing. Do I make this a global? I don't need to, because this has no state. The only purpose of this is I give this an atlas coordinate, and this gives me an object. This instantiates an object. Maybe it does need to be a global. Can I have static variables? What is this? This is... Wait a minute. Everything is an item. So I only need to have an item instance. Packed item scene. Nope. Put that in quotes, please. Base item dot tscn. Okay. That doesn't exist? You're right. That exists. Okay, so all I'm going to do is give me an object. I'm going to create a static function. I wish I could make this a constant. Yeah, no. Wait, can I do that? Does that work? Can you make a packed scene a constant? Well, let's find out. Static func spawn item. Can I be more imaginative than that? Can the name of my function be more imaginative? Atlas param vector 2i item. Var ret item equals packed item scene dot instantiate. And then match atlas param case. Nope. We don't type case. We just, is it match? Is it switch? Probably match. Vector 2i00. Ret item dot data. This is an item. Dot data item data. Thank you. Jeez, I was blanking on that. Equals load Give me the item data for a healing potion. I'm pretty sure that's a healing potion. Easy check. Easy way to check. Healing potion. And this is 1-0, and this is 2-0, and this is 3-0. I'm only going to do 3-0 for now. Was this the default? Whatever, we don't need a default. Return ret item. Okay. Go back to our main. Instead of this item spawner.spawn. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is actually a lot easier than I'm making it. Because this handles the instantiation of the item. Oh, we don't even need this. Oh, this is even easier than I thought. Okay. Okay. We just need to return a string. Get item data. If we don't know, we'll just return a health potion. For now, that's fine. Now we go back to main and we say, hey, good news. Instead of this hard-coded nonsense. Item spawn helper dot get item data, and then we need to give it the atlas coordinate, which I know how to do this because I've done it before. Give me a second. This gives an array of vector 2i's. This gives a position. I need to get the used cell. Oh, do I want to just cheat and open up Agent Smooth and look and see how I did that? Kind of. Okay, we have an item. This item is actually just a location. So I need to get the actual cell. Get cell atlas chords. Oh, okay, actually there it is. Item map dot get cell atlas chords item. That should do it. We're done. Look at that, we got a bag. First of all, let's drink some potions. What if I put this? Oh, it's in there. And if I right click on it, it doesn't heal me. Done. We did it. We're game developers. All right, let me just verify that I can still fight. This is going to take a year because we do 1 damage to each other. And I don't remember what this number is, but I think that's the distance I am from the creature. We have a range of like 30. Where's my health bar? There it is. Why is this trapped up here? That's annoying. Yeah. Okay. Now we need to make the bag functional. What I want the bag to do is so we've got this main inventory here, but I want to have like a sub inventory. When we right click on this, it should open the sub inventory, and the sub inventory should look like this, except it should also have a button to close it. And otherwise it should just be identical to an inventory. And if we've if we've coded things intelligently, which we haven't, but if we had done that, this would be pretty straightforward to implement because we'd just be like, we have code to give me an inventory UI. Give me one of those. Done. But unfortunately, our inventory UI is... well, we have this UI element. We need to add an option to have an X box to close the UI element. That not everything should be closable, but this should be. That we'll put that off. What's this inventory point? I think this is the actual boxes where items are going in. So I'm going to want to have, I'm going to say 4 of these. Not 12, because I want it to differentiate from the main inventory. But the actual number is less important than just getting this to work. So we create a new UI element. How are we creating, hold on. How are we creating this? Because this starts empty. Where is this getting an inventory from? Let's look at how inventory components work. Does the inventory component already set up the UI? Oh, that's hard-coded. Made that a const. I'm smart. So okay. When we become an inventory component, we get the parent. If we're the server, we register the inventory component, of course. Then 12 times we create an item slot. We note that we've created an item slot. And then we give it a name, sure. And then we add it to our item slot, okay. But how does that turn into the UI? Is something going on here? We have a UI node. The item, every inventory slot has its own UI node. Oh. Oh, okay. So the way I've hard-coded this so that whenever you create a UI element, it immediately goes into the player's inventory. Yeah, we're hard-coding getting that. And then we're putting our UI node into there. That won't work. We have to change that. What would be nice is if this inventory UI element was just a separate like scene and we were instantiating it. Is there like this appears to already be a scene. It's just called UI element. Okay. That's fine. We can just create a UI element. And then did I do anything special to this? This one in particular? Maybe I attached signals to it? No? Oh, wait a minute. I did something special to this one. Did I do anything special to this one? Editable children is yes, so I must have done something. But I don't see any changes. Like editable children is true, but like it doesn't look like I edited any of the children. Okay, so what we can do instead is, instead of just having this be attached to the main, we can attach this UI element to the player. Anything that has an inventory component can hold an inventory UI element. And that it still needs to be attached to this, but we can attach and detach it via... For the player, it's always attached forever. But for like a bag, we can attach it when we pick up the bag, and then we can detach it if we ever lose the bag. So we just need to take this. First of all, let's pull this out. Let's have the player create this scene when it is created. This is not the player. Hello? Maybe the player doesn't create this. Maybe it's better if the inventory component creates this and handles it, because I don't want to entangle. I want to keep the objects themselves as simple as possible so that future me has the minimum possibility of getting confused. So if I just put all the UI logic in the inventory component, there's a better chance that I go like, oh, that makes perfect sense actually, what I've done. So let's go ahead and stop talking and actually write code. Var inv UI. What did I call this? Inventory UI element. This is a canvas group. Great. We are going to go ahead and when we're ready, let's go ahead and call env UI element equals load dot instantiate. All right, and then we don't actually do anything here yet, but in the inventories, when we're making inventory slots, the inventory slot needs to connect to the correct UI env UI element. I believe we have the parent in the item slot. Can we cast that? I believe I can also cast this UI component. Has a does this have a class name? No, it doesn't. That's okay. That's okay. It might be good. No, these are all internal functions. I have put underscores here to flag them as internal. There are no functions that I want to access. Let's leave this as a canvas group. Let's not create a class for this. But this is an inventory slot. Inventory slot knows about its parent. We need to, instead of just grabbing whatever the crap, the VBox container there, let's, where UI base, where is this? Oh, I'm defining it right here. Okay. The UI base is parent dot, it's not get node, or it is get node, but parent dot env oh, wait a minute. This isn't the inventory component. This is the inventory component's parent. Why are we getting that? Do we need that? Oh, we need it for the name. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, we do need that. So what we can do here is instead of parent, we can do just get parent dot inventory UI element. And it is not a get node. It is a get node. There's a get node. Shoot. There it is. Okay, it's just UI element. Nine patch rect VBox container. Okay. I don't know what this HBox container is doing, and I don't. Frankly, I'm fine not thinking about it. Okay. If we go to main and we just hide this, this should no longer be, nothing should be using this. Nothing is using this because that's commented out. Okay. So we go back to our inventory spawner or item spawner. Nope, not that one. The UI item spawner. The UI item, whatever this is called, inventory point. Thank you, jeez. Nope, it wasn't this. Where's my item slots? Ah, it's a subcomponent. Neat. This theoretically works as is. We don't need to change anything further. We just need to go over here in the inventory component. Someday I'll stop clicking on this to look at code. That's not today. We need to, at the end of this rigmarole, inv UI element dot add. Nope, not quite. This is not quite that. It's close logic. I need to add this inventory element to main. Input handler dot main dot add child. No. We need to get. There we go. That should be it. That should be it. All right, we've hidden this inventory element. So if we press play, why did I see it? Why did I see it there? Maybe that wasn't the inventory element. Maybe it was something else. All right. Get children and base null instance on a null instance. Well, I hate when I do that. So the problem is this doesn't exist when we're calling this function. Now, why would that be? Because we've instantiated it at this point. Like there's no, what? Didn't we instantiate? Yeah, it's instantiated up here. Like it shouldn't be null. Let me see this. UI base is null. Why is UI base null? What is get parent getting? Okay, if we look here, there's a variable. This exists. UI element is not null, so this should not be null. But it is null. Is it null because I couldn't get this element? Did I typo something? Close. No, keep that one open. Okay, did I typo something? UI element, 9 patch rect, vbox container. That's the thing. There it is. Is it because I have the UI element here? Like I should just not have that? I should just do this? Could that be the thing? Like we don't count the root node when we're doing a get node. That could be. That was the problem. All right, well, good news is our logic is almost correct. The bad news is we've put the UI in the corner where I can't grab it. So we have this drag bar, but it's useless. Okay. Do I need to do something else? What if we only spawned 4 instead of 12 inventory slots? How would that affect the performance of the UI? 4 instead of 12? That's the problem. The buttons are in the way. Why weren't we having that problem before? I'm confused. Yeah, like we can grab it now. Could it be because of this extra HBox container? Did I no, the HBox container is there. Did I do something to the position? Hi, Artasian, how's it going? Hey, Count Carlson, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. We're just doing UI code. Did I mess with something? I probably don't need to change anything. Did I change the alignment? No. Am I using this HBox container at all? Can I just get rid of it? It is doing something. So I shouldn't get rid of it. But I wonder if this is killing me. I'm not sure why this is not working. Because I'm very certain it was working before. Like, and we can't grab it because does the inventory? Yeah, it does. Let me try setting the position. Inf.UI element position 100. Let's try that. Oh. I just can't grab. I can't. The buttons are in the way. Why is that? No, I'm scared to do that. If I do this, what would be ideal is if those boxes were just never overlapping the drag bar to begin with. That would be ideal. How do I do that? I need my drag bar to be pushing the VBox container down. To do that, what if I set a margin? Is there a way to tell this fill downward? Layout direction inherited? Oops. That doesn't do anything. Shoot, why? Oh, anchor's preset. What if we center bottom? No, that didn't do anything. Okay, hold on. Nope, that's wrong. Center. Let's look at the remote. Oh my gosh, okay. We've introduced a new element. This is not it. Or is it? Where's the... what? Yeah, this is not it. Where's my UI element? There it is. Let me just pop this up on my other monitor so I can see what's going on. Nothing that's not super obvious. Oh, wait a minute. Where are all my HBox containers? There they are. They're in this one. Why are there two of these? That's a problem. Why are there two of these? That's not correct. That might explain what's going on. Yeah, these have different numbers too. Okay, let me think. Okay, so if I hide that one. Okay, so if I hide that one, the second one is there. I should just split screen. What is this? What is this doing here? Why does this exist? Is it because this... No, we haven't given this an inventory component yet. That was a to-do. We haven't done that yet. Why? What is this? Where is this coming from? Is it because I have two people logged in? Did I make a mistake? Only spawn the UI if this UI belongs to you. Okay, hold on. Where's my thing? Get out of here. Oh, it's right here. There's only one. That's the correct number. Let me just... This is not it. This is not it. What am I looking at? Oh, this is the server. Yeah, this is the server I'm messing on. Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm tired of this being like that. Great. Screw it. I have two monitors. I'm going to use two monitors, even though I don't have OBS set up for that. Yeah, this is the server. How do I switch to the not server? This thing. This is the not server, also known as the client. There it is. Okay. So if I hide the VBox container, the drag bar becomes available. Now it's no longer available. Okay, but this is always available. The resizer is always available. So I think this, like, why was this working before, but it's not working now? But the solution, this has priority for some reason, and I just need to replicate that priority because these are both buttons. Mode none, behavior recursive inherited. Oh, it could be because this drag bar is actually... Nope, not like that. Yeah, it could be because that's set up like that. The order... Oh. Damn it. That's not what I want. This has priority because it's being drawn over the buttons, which is actually not what I want. I want this to have draw priority. Or do I? Maybe I don't. Maybe this is what I want. And then what I should do is just never overlap this. Yeah, I can't access the items there is the problem, or can I? Oh, I still can. Okay. So really what I need to do is like set the minimum size of this VBox container, or of the HBox containers, No. I need to set the minimum size of this 9 patch rect. I need to adjust this. Let's try that. Inventory slot, inventory component. Wow, I'm pressing the wrong buttons on my keyboard. If we get the node, and the node is the 9 patch rect. Dot region rect. Why didn't that adjust? I'm pretty sure if I double this. What? What? But this is the... What? Why did that happen? That should... How do I make this bigger? And not stretch it. I don't want to stretch it. I want to make it like... I want it to have more pixel space. What? What is it? Oh, I don't understand this stupid thing. Custom minimum size. This is probably what I wanted. That's what I wanted, yeah. Oh my god. All right. Custom minimum size, vector 2, vector 2. What? Why? Oh, okay. That's fine. The UI looked different. It was bugging me. Okay, this is pretty close to what I want. I just need to intelligently figure out the size of this, which I'm very close to doing that. I know these are 32 by 32. Plus, there's an 8 pixel. Is that 8 pixel or 4 pixels? There's a small gap, so I should just be able to math out like, however many slots I have is how much pixel space I need to make this fit. Why don't I just do that? I'll just do that right now. Well, let's go with num slots. Can I verify how much space is between each thing? That is set in the HBox container. We're just doing the default. What is the default? Do I set that in here? Alignment. How do I control how much spacing is between these boxes? Let's look in here. Control add spacer. Separation, there it is. And the default is 4. Perfect, okay. That's all I wanted to know. Hi, Artasian, good luck with your stream. Oh, community dev, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Thank you for the luck. I I need it. How was your stream? How are things? What were you up to? We can just const we'll set that. Godot's always been working on trading website for Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, the mobile game application of Pokemon. Nice. Trading cards. Nope. So if num slots is less than 4, we want to get the maximum. No, the minimum. We want to get the minimum of 4 or num slots. The horizontal width is. That's the X width, I think. Min 4 num slots times slot size plus 4. That should give us the correct slot. I don't think that's correct. But it's possible that I did this as the X when it should have been the Y. Just drop by to say hi because I got to go, but I hope it's going well. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good one. That looks more correct. That's a bit too wide, but whatever. We need to also have this. And this is going to be a modulo of 4. No, not modulo. Division. But it's integer division. We need to do integer division. So we take the number, we divide it by 4, then we round down, so it doesn't need to be an integer division. We take the num slots, divide by 4, round, times num slots plus 4. Nope, not num slots, slot size. Yeah, I definitely got this backwards. That was definitely backwards. Doing math and getting X and Y backwards. That's almost good. That's almost good. Let's add 16 to both of those numbers. Let's just add a magic number to both of those numbers. Const padding. Plus padding. That's properly spaced. Let's give it a little more padding. I think we might want 20, but let's try 18 first. Yeah, let's do 20. Okay. Yeah. Oh. That feels a little less painful to look at. I like it. And it still works. It's still functional. Put a bag in there. Now that we've done all of that for only the sole purpose of being able to create a new UI element for our bag. But it should be simple to do. But hold on, before we do that, there was a bug. Potentially. Okay, this is definitely a bug. Did I create? Okay, there. Yeah, there is a bug. We only want to create the UI element if it belongs to us. So we need to track. Yo, is this me? And if it's not me, don't bother. How are we doing that? I don't fully understand how we were getting away with this before. Okay, so at the very minimum, we should do this first. And then from this point on, if this is us, and the way we do that is we get the player that we are and we compare it to who owns us. I don't entirely know. That is how do we tell who owns us? An inventory component, if it belongs to a player, okay, cool. Are we that player? We're good. But we're about to add an inventory component to an object. How do we tell if the object belongs to us? Let me look at item. What do we got in here? So players intrinsically belong to themselves. We don't have any code that makes that true. But items have a collectible component. The collectible component's entire job. Oh, the collectible component has a name. Okay, so what we can do is we can say, I'm an inventory component. Let me get my parent. Is my parent a player? Yes. Okay, let me get their name. Is that who the client is? And if so, we're done. Otherwise, if they're not a player, let's get the collectible component of our parent. Ask them, does the player own me? And if the answer is yes, let's create the UI. That's problematic though, because when the bag is created, it doesn't belong to anyone. When the bag is first created, it does not belong to anyone. It's just on the ground. When we pick it up, we want to create the UI element, and then when we drop it, we want to destroy the UI element. So we actually should just this actually be a little simpler than what we've done. First of all, this code could be just split off. We can have function create UI element. And then we take all of this, slap it in there. And then we just call it. Oh yeah, it's still there. Does it work? Yeah, it still works. Okay. We're good. So, all we do here is we say, yeah, are you the player? Are you the player that belongs to the client? Create UI element. Otherwise, not yet. Just wait. If parent is player and parent dot name equals, how do we check who owns us? How do we check our client? We have a handler for this, I'm pretty sure. ID handler? Inventory handler? Object handler? RPC handler? Shoot. How do I tell who belongs to me? Is there a way to say, do I have authority over it? No, that's not gonna fly. How do I get my client ID? Okay. There's a multiplayer object. Here it is. What is in here? Get multiplayer. Okay. Has group, notify group, quit. Is it still the multiplayer? Where did the multiplayer go? Get multiplayer. Okay, multiplayer API. This is what I meant to look at. Get remote sender ID. No, get unique ID. This is the function I want. Okay, we just get unique ID and we compare it with our player name because I'm pretty sure we're setting the player name to our unique ID. Get unique ID. Do I have to do multiplayer.get unique ID? Why is this busted? Okay, does things still work? No. We cannot do this because this is an int and this is a string. A+ game. A+. I don't know if casting to a string is more expensive than casting to an int. I do not know. I bet casting to an int is cheaper. First of all, this works. Did we spawn? Oh, okay. Yeah, no. That's looking good. That's looking good. Okay. But I'm pretty sure casting to an int is cheaper, so. What am I doing? First of all, why didn't that work? Uh-oh. No, that should have worked. That was working before when I was casting to a string. If I do this, does it work? It does. Okay, so why does that break it? So this does not exist on the server. No, that doesn't make sense. What? Get onto item. First of all, what if we had just an else here? The server does not need to create UI elements, so... Oh, that just breaks it. Okay, so the server does need to create the UI element. Or else. Why? This is a UI element. This has no effect on the actual collectible. Unless the collectible is like... Okay, hold on. I should look at the debugger. First of all, where are all these condition properties dot find p path is true? What is that even? Why is this? Why is this reporting as an error? Okay. Attach a client. What bugs? No, we just have a bunch of p paths equals true. Is this my... Okay. Let me try grabbing an object. No errors. Amazing. Okay. You know, I won't be disappointed if we don't get this working. I was expecting this to be complicated, so I'm not disappointed. I am running out of time. And spoons. I need to figure out why, if this is not on the server, this doesn't work. So we're calling get onto item. Are the items in the right layer? What layer? I'm not sure what that means. If we don't have this UI element, we can't pick up items. And we don't have this UI element on the server specifically. We can't pick up items. Let's look at get. What is get onto item? Look at this get item command. Yeah, move item command. This is getting called through here. This is going get inventory component. Get sender player. No, okay. Nope. That's not what I want. Go back. This is just getting the inventory component. The inventory component, that should always work. How are the items detected and picked up? I right click on them and then they get picked up. I mean, I can demonstrate how it works. Is this the inventory? No, I'm looking at the RPC handler. This is the code. Okay, so if we just comment this out, so we always create the UI element, even if we are not the player. If we're the server, we create the UI element. If we're the wrong player, we create the UI element. So we'll just have two dudes. Yeah, we've got an extra UI element here. This doesn't belong to us, but we get it because why not? So we right click on this and this goes in our inventory. And we also have our buddy's inventory here for no reason. This is almost correct. We just don't want this to appear. So if we set it up so that we only create this UI element, if we are ourselves, if we're somebody else, we don't create the UI element. If we do that, well, now we can't do anything. And the reason we can't do anything is because the server doesn't have the UI element. Why does that matter? Let's find out. That's the problem we're having. RPC handler. Down here. Add item to inventory. We're calling the collectible component. I'm pretty sure we're getting here. I'm pretty sure, but let's just... We're getting here. Yep. Unity is better than Godot. You said it, not me. Oh, we're not getting here. Oh, is that the problem? We're not getting here. Let's back up. Are we calling this RPC function? We are calling this RPC function. Okay. So let's try printing player inv. What is target? Oh, target is, yeah, okay, that's. I'm not sure. Oh, we're not getting here. Oh, no, we are. Inventory component. Yeah, okay. So we get to call, add item to inventory. How are we not getting here? Does not make any sense. Oh, we are getting here. Okay. So the problem though, the RPC handler, this is happening on the server. Okay, I see the problem. The problem is this function is happening on the server. The server is going, all right, the player has an inventory. Let's go in there. Let's grab all the slots. First slot and item slots. If and the problem is that the slots are being created as part of the UI creation. These slots are only being created down here. That's the problem. This is inconsiderate of us. We do need to be doing this. But problem, the slots expect there to be a UI element. So we just need to have the slots go. Wait a minute. Don't attach yourself to a UI element yet. Always do shotgunning. Put debug logs that are just 1, 2, 3, 3A, 3B, 4 across the spread and just see how far it tracks. Always. We just need to tell this inventory slot to not put itself in the UI until we're ready, because the UI doesn't exist if we're not the player. If we're not ourselves, the UI doesn't exist. But we still want the item slot to exist. So inventory slot, okay. Oh, we already do that. This function already does that. Only do this if parent name is equal to multiplayer.getUniqueID. Okay. Okay, but I don't want this to be in the ready function. I want this to be in the create UI element function. So I want to separate this. I want to separate this logic out. Func create attach to UI attach to UI, and we can just pass in the UI. No, we don't need to though. We already have the parent. I'm really good at writing functions. I'm the best actually. Take this. Slap it down there. And we're not attaching to the UI. I shouldn't call it attached to UI. I should call it create UI. Build UI. Build UI. That's better. Does this inventory slot have, it's just one thing. How is this tracking? Oh, it's looking at the H box. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm caught up. I'm caught up. Okay. So we create the item slots here. What are we attaching them to? To the inventory component. Okay, that's fine. Create UI element for item and item slots. Item dot create tween. Yes, that's what I wanted. Build UI. That should be it. That should be it. We're creating the UI element if we're the player. Otherwise, we're not creating the UI element. Yeah, okay, good. Now let's test it with multiplayer. 1 and 2. Okay, we don't have an extra UI. Great. I put things in my inventory and they don't appear in your inventory. That's great. We can have two separate inventories. Right-clicking on the bag does not heal me because it's not a potion, it's a bag. Right-clicking on the potion does heal me because it is a bag. It is a potion. We did it. Okay, now what we get to do is, well, actually, we've already built the functions that we need, so I don't need this. All we need to do now is go to the bag use function and say, when you right click on me, create a UI element, and then we're done. We're not done. Obviously, we have a lot more to implement, but for the purposes of like my task, we're done. Implementing other parts of the inventory is a to-do for later. Let's do it. Let's prove that we were actually done and just do it. All right, so we've got the bag here. Now, when we get used, we are going to open up a new inventory. It occurs to me that this inventory is going to look identical to our current inventory. It'd be really nice if our graphics were a little bit better and we could differentiate between our personal player inventory and the bag inventory. Oh well. We're going to... We are a bag, so we have the items. So we just need to get the items inventory component. Item.get node. Does the item actually have an inventory component that we could just like... It does not. We don't believe in that. That's fine. Get node inventory component dot create UI element. We're done. We should add a function here that says if this UI element already exists, don't recreate it. Because I don't want to just right click on the bag and then create 30 inventories. Okay, we have a bag. Instantly crash. Well, attempt to call function create UI element and base null instance on a null instance. Now, why is that? This item is not null. Does it not have an inventory component? Oh, it doesn't have an inventory component yet because we didn't set that up. I'm so dumb. We're not done. This is the other hard part. We need to have a init. Some items need to have an init, and by some items I mean all items need to have an init. Because some items have setup. Right, this is not the only one that's going to have setup. The torch has setup as well, but this definitely has setup. So we go to our data, item data. We need to add a new abstract function. Abstract func init. And then every item needs to have that function. Pass. All right, we have to do this. What? This isn't even set up. What did it... Hold on. I never wrote this function. Amazing. Also, this extends node. That's wrong. What? Extend item data. Oh, and we need to have a var sprite. Oh shoot. Give me that init function. Okay, now we can call the init function from the item whenever we populate this item data, which, you know, great. Love that for us. If we ever do something dumb and we change the item data of an item, we're going to call init, but we're not going to clear up the past init. So we just should never do that. In fact, we can just if item data assert false. Don't do this, not supported. OMG. Item data dot init. And we're done. Now we go into the bag and we say, yo, you've got an init function. Tell the item var create an inventory. This I has an inventory component. Can I do something akin to like in the item data function, func create inventory component. Item. And then we just define that here. Bum, 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 bum. Item dot, oh nope, var inventory component, inventory component equals load res source components inventory component item dot add child inv What do you mean cannot assign a value of type resource to variable inv component with specified type inventory component? Oh, instantiate, and yes. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then we go to the bag and we say super.add, there it is. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Yes, I do need to pass the item in because well, that's just how resources work. Otherwise I won't know what I am. Yeah, we're done. Too few, oh, right, self. All right, now we have a bag. Damn it. Let's go ahead and go to the bag. Print attempting to use me. Yeah, okay, we're getting to that function. So we are calling. The problem, though, is something. There's a problem. Stating the obvious. Hold on. Print. I am being called. Yeah, okay, we're being called. Is the problem that this env UI element already exists? Could that be the problem? Okay, before we click on the item, let's look and see, does it have, hello, where's my items? There they are. This one already has an inventory component. Understandable. Does it have a UI? It does not. It's null. Okay. Let's go ahead and click. That's not it. There it is. Okay. Well, it's not creating the element. We are getting past this, I assume. Grab this. Yeah, okay, we're getting past it the first time. And then afterwards we're not. So that tells me that there isn't a UI there. And this is wrong. This is probably wrong because this is the server. Made that mistake again. Yep, okay, we do have an element. We just don't see it. Okay. Can we go back to, okay, so this is being called. We are creating the UI. Is it because it has the same name as another UI element? Okay, hold on. Let's go ahead and add, let's start this up. Let me bring up the remote. This looks like us. Are we gonna add another UI element when we click on this? I don't see that. Let's check this. This is not the inventory component. There it is. No, that's null. This might be the server though. Let's check. Items doesn't even exist there. Yeah, okay, there's the UI element. This is the UI layer. I don't see another thing. So it didn't get added, but why didn't it get added? UI layer, add child, this. But it's not there. Could is it because this is already named this? What if I try naming this something else? Inv UI element dot name equals dot format. Does the item have a name? Item.name? We don't have that. Get parent.name. Okay, let's try that. We have env2item UI layer. That's great. Where is our player inventory though? Yeah, okay. That's great. Where did our player inventory go? Did this just eat our player? Okay, hold on. Let's grab some potions. And then what if we right click on this? Oh, and then we right click on this. Okay, I see it spawned. I actually have not been looking at my server. It spawned a UI here, which is incorrect. It shouldn't have done that. Oh, this is only happening on the server. That's the problem. Oh. Right. Yes. Why is this happening on the server? We're right. The use is happening on the use is a server side thing. Yes. Okay. So that's fine. That's fine actually. All we need to do then is create an RPC to say, yo, an item has told you to create a UI element. You, Mr. Client, get to create a UI element. We need to create a new RPC. Unless I already have an RPC that does this. I don't. There's the use item one. It's really dumb that that is how that works. But use is a server-side function. So I'm kind of... The choice is, the more efficient thing to do would be to add a thing on here that says use is client side. And then when we do the use command, we say, am I a server or am I a client side? So the target is an item, I believe. It's a static body, but the static items are static bodies. Let's do it. Let's go into that's more efficient, and I don't see any particular advantage to not doing it. Var client use equals true. And then in the commands, and target dot item data dot use client. That's not correct. If blah, then target dot item data dot, or I should just say target dot use, else that. Okay, so potions just instantly crash because there's no such thing as the use client. Damn it. Oh, easy fix, easy fix, easy fix. Okay, using a potion still works. And then we open this, and it opened up on the server. Damn it, didn't work. Why? The use client should be true. Oh. Wait a second. This doesn't override. Oh, I can't do it like this. I need to do it like this. Use client equals true. There we go. Okay, that's still good. There it is. That's the client side interface. Where are my items? Something's not right. We have a bug to fix. Inventory component. When you call create UI element, did I forget? No, we're building the UI here. Can we verify that? Oh, the parent name is not going to be equal to the get unique ID. That is not going to be the case because this is a bag. The bag does not have a player name. It is just called to item, so we can't do this anymore. We just have to make sure only to call this function when we're deserving, which I believe we're doing that here. Only create the UI element if that, or if we're the client and we say create a UI element, then create a UI element. Trust me, bro. Give me that. Excellent. Now we have two inventories. That is what I want. We can't go further than this until we implement being able to move items from inventory slot to inventory slot. That I was not planning on doing yet, but maybe that should be what I do next. I'm not going to do it now because I'm out of time. I'm way over time actually, but this is what I wanted to get done. Before I claim victory, though, let me verify that it works in multiplayer. Okay, cool. We have two dudes. I'll just grab this bag. You grab a healing potion. We'll fight this bat together. Got him. All right. I get the healing potion. You get this healing potion. All right. I will drink mine first, and then I'll open this bag, and that made the bag disappear. That's not correct. Why did the bag disappear? Oh no, do not tell me. Do not tell me that this variable is a singleton. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that. Damn it. This leaves a lot to be desired. No, that didn't work. Okay. Why? If I just grab the bag and use it, it gets eaten anyway. Oh, no. It's not. It's actually fine. I'm just slow. Hold on. Hold on. It didn't eat the bag. It just opened a new UI element, and I was too dumb to notice. Yes. Okay, and then I get the potion, and then you get the potion. No, that shouldn't have happened. No, that definitely shouldn't have happened. Why is it duping? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, why is it duping? Found a bug. So it's not duping in the sense that I'm making the item occur multiple times. If I consume the item, it disappears. But I am duping in the sense that like I'm filling the item into multiple slots. And that shouldn't be. As soon as I pick it up, it should no longer respond to right click. It should no longer be a collider. Oh, why is that happening? I should go so far as to say, once the item has been collected, it should no longer be acceptable to put it in an inventory. It should, the collector, the collectible component should be responsible for keeping track of which item slot it's in. And if it's ever trying to be put in a second item slot, it should go, no. Or it should say, if there's a race condition, it should figure out who do I actually belong to. Yeah, I'm gonna just put a to-do for myself for that one because I'm not gonna sort that out right now. To-do. Okay, so we got art done. Bag. We got enough of the bag functional that I say this is a victory because it's giving an item component. It's getting an inventory component. To-do. Fix bug where you can pick up items multiple times. That's probably what we'll fix next time. And then I'm going to implement the torch. And then once we get the torch implemented, the other items, I'm not even going to sweat it. Those are all just going to fall into play. We can probably get the torch implemented in like 30 minutes to an hour and then get the rest of the items implemented in another hour. And then, item data spree done. Then we move on to the basic stats. Okay. One step at a time. I'm out of spoons. 100%. When you're out of spoons, it's still important to try and to make a little bit of progress just to keep the momentum. And then at some point, hopefully, you get motivation. We'll be able to knock out like 6 of these in one day, you know? That's the hope. Anyway, we're going to stop this. This is where I bounce. So thank you, folks, everybody, for watching. Hope you all had a good time. Thanks for participating. Hope you are playing lots of games and hope your game dev is going well. Keep making games, y'all. Have fun. See y'all next time.